The story of YNM Melly, from hitmaker to murderer. For most artists, what they say in their raps and what they do in real life are two different things. But for YNW Melly, things got really blurry, real quick. The mixed personalities rapper shot to fame with his hugely successful track, Murder on My Mind, which peaked at #1 on the US Apple Music charts back in 2019. But as his music career looked to be taking off, Melly's past caught up with him as the Florida MC was charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder and faced life imprisonment for his role in the death of 2 close friends. James Maurice Demons was born May 1st, 1999 in Florida. His dad wasn't around, and his mom did her best to raise him, despite getting pregnant with the future MC at just 14 years of age. Another rapper, Dante "The Gift" Taylors, claims to be Melly's dad, and to this day still argues that Melly's mom, Jamie Demons King, didn't give him the chance to play his role of father in Melly's life. News of Dante being the incarcerated artist's father only broke after Melly was arrested on his double homicide charges. Shortly after, Dante released a track called Melly on Mine, defending his son's innocence. Many, including Melly's mom, hated the track and accused the MC of clout chasing. But regardless, Melly and his mom were alone for the majority of their lives. She gave birth to him while she was still in the 9th grade and later moved to Gifford, a poor neighborhood in Florida, where she struggled to pay bills and provide basic necessities to her family. She later gave birth to Melly's brother, YNW Slime, who followed in his older siblings' footsteps and became a rapper. The street life was all around Melly, and he soon joined the Bloods gang, where he found friends and role models for life. Around this time, Melly got involved in 2 things that will come to define his life for the next couple of years: music and crime. At 15, Melly started posting to SoundCloud, a music sharing website, and started to work on his musical chops. But his Bloods lifestyle was also never far away, and the future hitmaker had other hits in mind. In late 2015, he was arrested for shooting at a group of students near Vero Beach High School and was convicted of aggravated battery, discharging a firearm in public, and 2 counts of aggravated assault. This earned him his first stint in prison, a sentence of several months, which Melly served out as a youngster. It was around this time that Jamel adopted the stage name YNW Melly. YNW, which stands for Young New Wave, was a hip-hop collective out of Florida that included guys Melly knew well. Rappers like Sack Chaser, Juvie, and Bortland, who all carried the YNW tag proudly. Melly dropped his first EP while still incarcerated, a project titled Collect Call, which featured some pretty well-known names in the hip-hop community, like Lil B and John Wicks. He followed this up with his debut mixtape, I Am You, which earned Melly his first Billboard Top 200 appearance, peaking at 192 in January. Around this time, Melly found himself back in prison, but he didn't let that stop him from releasing new music. His second commercial mixtape, We All Shine, released on January 18, 2019, and saw the Florida MC collab with some of the biggest names in hip-hop. Kanye West and Fredo Bang both made an appearance on the album, and Melly even got Cole Burnett, an iconic music video director, to help him out on a video for his song with Ye, Mixed Personalities. Despite over 200 million streams on Spotify and over 10 million monthly listeners, Melly couldn't leave the street life behind. He found himself in and out of jail thanks to his reckless behavior and ties to the Florida Bloods. Around this time, Melly also opened up about his personality disorder. Speaking to Power 105.1, Melly explained how he had up to 6 personalities inside of him and how each one of them behaved differently. Of those 6, one would become his most famous, Melvin. Melvin, according to Melly, was dangerous, impulsive, and reckless. Melvin also liked to kill. Melvin not only let him out at nighttime. When the night hits, he really comes. Melvin is like, once you play with Melly, Melvin don't like that. Melvin is on your ass, no cap. Fans have long speculated what this all means. Many think Melly is a schizophrenic with multiple personality disorder, and Melvin is just one manifestation of this mental illness Melly fights with. As As we would all soon find out, Melly's past and the actions of Melvin were about to catch up with him in a bad way. You see, back in 2018, two members of the YNW crew, Sack Chaser and Juvie, were killed in an apparent drive-by shooting. After a few months of investigation, Melly became the #1 suspect. It was believed that Melly conspired along with other YNW member Bortland to stage a double murder and make it look as if they had been killed in a drive-by shooting. On February 12, 2019, the police issued a warrant and charged Melly with 2 counts of premeditated murder for the October 2018 shootings. Melly decided not to fight it and turned himself in a day later. In his final Instagram post as a free man, Melly said this: "No, I did not get locked up in Washington, but I am turning myself in today. A couple months ago, I lost my 2 brothers by violence, and now the system wants to find justice. Unfortunately, a lot of rumors and lies are being said, but no worries. God is with me and my brother at YNW.Bortland, and we want y'all to remember it's at YNW family. I love you." Tabloids and social channels were obsessed with the hitmaker's murder charge. Nobody knew if it was legit or not, and fans quickly pointed to one of his old tracks, "Murder on My Mind." Everybody believed the song was about the murder of his 2 friends, thanks to the second verse, which took on an eerie tone after the convictions. "I didn't even mean to shoot him. He just caught me by surprise. I reloaded my pistol, cocked it back, and shot it twice. His body dropped down to the floor, and he got teardrops in his eyes. He grabbed my hands and said he was afraid to die. I told him, 'It's too late, my friend. It's time to say goodbye.' And he died inside my arms, blood all on my shirt." Fans were even more certain when, just a few lines later, Melly says, "Melly's a savage. No, he not no amateur. That bitch named Angela fucked her on camera. Bitch, I'm a murderer. Yeah." While in prison, Melly got charged with another murder. This time, the 2017 shooting of off-duty deputy Gary Chambliss in Gifford. The high-profile double murder trial was set for March 7, 2022, but faced multiple delays, and in the end, the trial did not proceed. While things slowed down, a decision was made to remove capital punishment from the list of possible punishments that Melly could face if he was found guilty. However, in November, the decision was overturned by a judge after it was appealed against. This meant that should Melly be found guilty, he is still able to receive the death penalty. Melly's lawyers soon stepped in and tried to get that ruling overturned. They appealed to the Supreme Court of Florida but were unsuccessful. The trial finally began on June 12, 2023, 5 years after he was arrested for the double murder charge. While he waited for this hearing, Melly's time in prison has been fraught with issues. One of the most pressing was the COVID-19 epidemic, which ravaged prisons and killed an untold amount of inmates who lacked proper sanitation, social distancing, and healthcare. Back in April of 2020, during the height of the pandemic, Melly's management confirmed a rapper had tested positive for COVID. They then began a process of trying to secure him an early release due to health concerns. This was completely unheard of. Fellow rapper 6ix9ine struck a similar deal after he was arrested as part of a RICO case. Melly's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, told news outlets that the Florida MC is suffering from a high temperature, severe chills, labored breathing, and headaches, all clear symptoms of COVID-19. He also said the rapper has gone down to 114 pounds, and that the jail has failed to effectively slow the spread of the virus. TMZ reported that Melly was isolated from his cellmate, who also tested positive, but that all the 20-year-old was receiving to help him overcome the illness was Tylenol and Gatorade. But Melly survived and was forced to wait till his trial, which began in June, 3 years after his COVID scare. During the trial, details regarding the double murder were finally made public. All forensic and video evidence pointed towards Melly as the killer. Prosecution evidence showed that the fatal shots that killed the pair came from inside the car and not from a drive-by like Melly and his team assert. Surveillance footage from the night of the murder showed Melly taking a seat where investigators believe the killing shots came from. Melly and Bortland are then believed to have gotten out the vehicle to shoot into it, simulating a drive-by scenario. After shots had been fired into the door of the car, Bortland got back in it and drove the 2 dead bodies to Memorial Hospital in Miramar, where both men were pronounced dead on arrival. It took 3 days of deliberation for the jury to come to the conclusion that they could not make a unanimous verdict, even after the judge gave them special consideration to help everyone come to a joint opinion. On July 22nd, a mistrial was declared, and Melly went right back where he's been for the last 5 years, his cell. A new trial date is set to take place on October 2nd, 2023. During his entire time in jail, Melly's music career was flourishing. In 2020, he released a remix of his track Suicidal, which peaked at number 20 in the Hot 100. He even released a third studio album, Just a Matter of Slime, in 2021 with the help of artists like Kodak Black and Lil TJ. The album, which is made up of recordings from before his arrest, flopped, no doubt because of Melly's lack of involvement with the project. But despite this, it has become Melly's second highest speaking album, behind Melly vs. Melvin. While he sits and waits for his next hearing, it's looking like Melly might actually walk away. A lot of the evidence given in court was insufficient, and it's never a good sign when a case mistrials this many times. Melly was even seen smiling in court during his last hearing. This is not exactly the face of a man afraid to get the death penalty, is it? Well, what do you think? Will Melly be found guilty? Or is the next YNW Melly project going to be the first day out tape so many of his fans have been hoping for? Thanks for watching, and if you want to check out more True Celeb stories, why not take a look at some of our other videos? Bye!